Okay, I guess Xbox stepped in it. Let's go right to the story and let's talk about it on the back end. Here, let's make it bigger. It says, Microsoft announces Gears of War remaster and it's coming to PlayStation 2. This is courtesy of The Verge. Verge's Jay Peters. It says Microsoft just announced Gears of War Reloaded, a remaster of the original game that's launching on August 26th for the Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation, and PC for $39.99. Gears of War Reloaded is a celebration of one of gaming's most iconic franchises, according to the Xbox Wire blog post featuring 4K resolution, 120 frame support. Let's go to that blog post. And it says something interesting here. Gears of War Reloaded, it mentions the 4K resolution and 120 frames per second support, but check this out. It says developed by the coalition in partnership with Sumer Interactive and Disbelief. Gears of War Reloaded launches August 26, 2025. Again, $39.99 SRP, and on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming, PlayStation 5, and Steam, and arrives on day one with Gamepass Ultimate or PC Game Pass. Play on Xbox Series X and S and on Xbox PC with Xbox Play Anywhere. So we'll get into that weird reframing in a little bit, which I guess is like a rebranding of their stuff, but a lot of people are worked up about this, and I'm not talking about the trolls. I know that the trolls are going to be out there and they're going to say, oh, suck it, Xbox, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know. But there's a lot of people that shouldn't be surprised by this, that are hurt by this. I think that this shows, there's no other way but to say it, a mental deficiency within the gaming community. I just got to go there. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage. MM2K Gaming back again with another episode of the Quick Dose. We're bringing back Quick Dose, people. We're just going to talk quickly on this. I'll do a podcast of the show later, diving into this furthermore, but I'm befuddled. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor: hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, rock the bells for notifications, please. Just hitting the like button does so much for the content. Also, if you want to join us live, check us out on twitch.tv/HNDC Hub. You can check us live there for all of our live content, except for NRO Podcast, which is exclusively shown here on YouTube. Okay. Look, here's the thing. When Phil Spencer did the rounds and talked to people like Destin Legary and Gamertag Radio, and basically said, and I don't know which show he said this at, and maybe I'm piecemealing this from both interviews, and he was on Xbox Era as well. He said, look, we're no longer fighting to get PlayStation people on our consoles. Our consoles is just an extension of our content. That's it. It's just a tentacle of the octopus. It's not the full animal. It's just a tentacle. And we've told people this, those of us that were heavy scrutinizers of Xbox. We've warned people of this for a long time. I started making YouTube content because of my beloved attachment to Xbox, me thinking at that time, several years ago, that PlayStation was overrated, and I was going to prove it to everybody, right? Several years later, I could go on a hot tub time machine back to my prior self and say, you're going to be, your favorite console in the future is going to be PlayStation. I probably would have drop kicked myself back into that time machine that sent me where I came from. But fast forward several years, and I am very favorable towards the PlayStation as a console, more so than I am Xbox. I don't even own an Xbox. And there's a reason for that transition. We tried to warn people because of those reasons. Now, some heeded the warnings and they made a decision. They either said, okay, MM, I get it. I got to migrate somewhere else. I can't rely on the console. Others said, okay, I get it. It sucks, but I still prefer the console. And those, I guess, are reasonable reactions. I don't cater, or I don't judge people for what they like. You like what you like. I don't care. Particularly when it comes to gaming. It's not that serious. However, if you are someone who thought that Xbox was still in the fight for exclusive content, or they were still in the fight against PlayStation, you were clearly fooling yourselves. So I don't even get why you're mad. Okay, the trolls are going to go out there. Halo, Gears, and Forza. Look, it's one of the pillar platforms. The games of the platform. They added it to PlayStation finally. That sticker shock or whatever should have been going with Forza, but for some reason it isn't. So I don't understand. I truly don't understand. If you at worst, I can understand you saying, oh, the trolls get under my skin. Let me get off of social media. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. Because you guys were fighting so hard, you didn't want to listen to reason, you didn't want to look at the writings on the wall, and now a lot of you look foolish because you weren't heeding the warning. So you're like, okay, I don't want to see people make fun of some of my thoughts that Xbox would never do this. I'm going to get offline. I can understand that. Me personally, when something similar, not as egregious, but when something similar happened after I had backed Stadia and thought, Stadia would try a little bit harder than what they did, I immediately went live and took all the licks. I dealt with the foolishness and the foolery and the incorrect stuff, but I took my L's. I guess I'm cut off a different cloth, but I'm not expecting everybody to do what I do. Okay, if you want to just log offline and go cry in the corner somewhere, that's fine. Whatever. Why me? Whatever. My thing is, why are y'all upset? That's the bigger question. What? And this is why I said there's mental deficiency. Why are you upset? If you're upset about this, like you're surprised that Xbox did this, something is wrong mentally. I'm sorry, and I'm not going extreme over a game. I'm not even going extreme. I am going uncut and raw over your inability to process facts when it comes to gaming. For some reason, you are so parasocially attached to some rhetoric, some marketing rhetoric that Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg told you that you can't let it go. That is a mental deficiency. Seek help. That's all I can tell you right now. Log offline and go find something else to do. Go skip rocks in the lake or something. This is sick. All right. Well, that's it. That's it from your boy. We're going to talk about this later. You know what I'm saying? In full detail. This is just a quick jab at what's going on in the news. But if you like this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications. Again, consider becoming a member. You'll get way more content to this. I always go ad lib and just talk about stuff within gaming and stuff on the periphery surrounding gaming. It's great content. With that said, I appreciate everybody. Till next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.